Hey everyone, this is Adam from a.s.o. Got another nice little rub parcel for you here. I'm going to walk you through it in a second. But to start with, we got a total of 18 pieces and 98.5 carats. Some of these stones are almost finished, so the yield should be pretty good on it. Definitely got some good color. Let's start talking you through it now. Right here, this one, beautiful color and pattern in it. This guy should pay for the parcel. Now it does have a bit of a lighter gray color going around the edges. Some of it, the color goes pretty deep, more on this side. This side it's a bit thinner. So the possibility exists, you could finish it like this and it's still a fairly nice stone. Possibility exists though that you can get a little bit darker color if you chase it down a little more. And if you do, I mean, it'll be a stunning stone. I mean, the color and pattern is absolutely beautiful in this stone. Worst comes to worst, you could trim it in all the way, if into the black if you wanted, because that is good black opal in there. It's probably like an N3 at least, maybe N2. If you did trim it in, the stone would probably finish up around 5 carats or so. If you kind of kept it that natural shape where you see the black, you could always slice it right here where there's one type of pattern and then there's a different type of pattern down here. So you get 2 different stones that would be a couple carats each. Or like I said, you can try to chase that color underneath the gray and see if it gets a little bigger. But yeah, that's a beauty. Right now it's at 10.4 carats the way it stands. This one here is at 10.75 carats. There's a little bit of film left on top. Got to go real slow with it because the color is thin, a little thicker on this side, but it does hump up here. There's a tiny bit of film left on it. It is a nice stone, nice black opal, N4. Good pattern up on this side. A lot of different colors in it. A little more floral down here, a little blockier in the middle, and then some interesting chaff pattern or even a little bit of feather pattern up in the upper part. Could always slice it through there and get one stone up top. And then get a bigger stone at the bottom. Probably let you get a little more of that film off, so the color will brighten up a little more if you do that. It should finish up a nice stone anyway. This one here is good sized stone. We're at 22 carats. Decent amount of color left on it. Fairly bright stone, fairly large. What I would do, that's not a crack, that's a natural fissure where the opal had cracked in the earth through the pressures and then filled in with black potch over time. So it's essentially glued together on its own. I would probably slice right down that line. And I would try to get one little stone here, another little stone up there, and then go for the main stone. You can see the good color goes underneath this kind of deformed area. So you can definitely get to about where my thumb is with that nice color. Should be a good stone in the end. You might even get something else right up in this little area too if you can clean it up a little more. It's another bigger piece. Yeah, that last one was 22 carats, by the way. This one, you probably get a little stone off the end, bit of a black opal. It's just got one spot there that has to come out a little bit, but you have to slice it to work on it. Pretty sure it should come clean. Nice color and pattern. Even a little red in there. And then over on this side, hard to get it to show up on camera, but you can see this nice dark blue N1 black opal. Nice pattern. It's underneath that porcelain cap. Goes at a bit of an angle. You can see the color there pretty good. Usually whenever you get underneath these porcelain caps, you get a bit of good color, so just got to decide which way you want to face it. Slice it at an angle, either take that end off or cut it here at an angle and go that way down, but you'll definitely end up with a few carats. It's 16.85 carats the way it sits right now. This one here is more of a semi-black opal. It's all lightning ridge material again. Nice multicolor, different patterns, good clean stone, got enough bar to work with all the way around. Back is pretty much potch, that sand will just come right off. But for a semi-black opal, you got all the good colors in there. Should finish up pretty nice. This one's kind of a semi-crystal, I'd call it. Green-orange. It's got a little skin on the top. Once that comes off, you see that good color underneath. Should end up with that. This one's kind of like 2 stones ago. A little bit of every color in there, semi-black. Probably N6. Blockier pattern, it's pretty good. This one's only small, but there we go. It does sit on black potch. Goes about 2/3 of the way in. Should be able to get a nice high dome. Again, this real nice semi-black opal. Really good colors in it. It's fairly clean. It's not going to take much to finish it. Should be worth a little bit once it's done. Another semi-black. Green, blue, a little bit of orange in there. This one might be best suited as a carving. Kind of chase that color bar around a little, see if you can clean it up a bit more. It does have a good amount of red and some blue in it. This one's a bit thinner, but does have clean color bar around it. Does have a little tiny bit of potch left in the face. You can see the color even goes right through it, up by my thumb. So I would take it slowly on this one, because it's not super thick, but be a nice dark blue, a little bit of aqua in there, but you know, majority blue, black opal. Probably N2, N3. This one's a bit of a semi-crystal again, I guess I'd call it. Sort of a floral pattern, a little bit smaller, but nice bright stone. Looks at you from every angle. Not much left to do to finish it. Good color in this stone, very bright as far as greens go. It does have a lot of gold and orange in there. It's got a little potch left on the surface right there where my thumb was, but you can see the color goes underneath it. So you might just have to trim in that much and then roll that edge down, and you should get this good color all the way across. Definitely don't need to do too much to it. It'll finish up pretty nice. This one here, color bar dives under a bit, so I'd probably sacrifice this little bit here and roll that down and chase that color at a bit of an angle. It does go right crossed. And then you can probably get a decent oval in there with probably a little bit more of the red facing. Nice little semi-black. Good color and pattern. Very bright stone. Looks at you from everywhere. Nice little jewelry piece. Another nice little semi-black here. Combination of blockier and smaller patterns. And this one here is the last stone in the parcel. It's got a big hole in the front there, but I think you should be able to get a decent stone on this side, right there, and maybe even another smaller stone over in here. But I would say your main stone is right under that. There is some red showing up underneath. Holds good promise. Again, this is the parcel. Pretty good value, especially when you consider you have stones like this in there. We're asking $2,875, which should have no trouble cutting that out of this and still being able to make a good profit. If you can end up with 35 carats out of this, and again, we're starting with 98.5 and they're all rubbed. So if you can end up with 35 carats, which should be pretty easy to do, and you can average around $250 a carat, which some of these stones will be worth significantly more than that, you should easily be able to make about $8,750 or $5,875 in profit. So that's the way I figure it. Enjoy.